Welcome back, and in this section we will dive into Division B of the Border Security for America Act, which focuses on the American Dream and Promise. Let's explore the key provisions related to Dreamers, TPS holders, and the Dignity Program. This is all part of the Dignity Act. This is part 3 of our other series. If you ever missed any of the other videos, just go ahead and go back into the playlist and you'll find them. You'll also see those links in the descriptions below. The bill includes a version of the DREAM Act, which provides a pathway to legal status for young undocumented immigrants known as Dreamers. This provision aims to help those who were brought to the United States as children and have lived in the country for most of their lives. And it was really to no fault of their own. They were small children. Under the proposed legislation, Dreamers and DACA recipients would be eligible for a conditional permanent resident status that lasts up to 10 years. This status would protect them from deportation, allow them to work legally in the United States, and permit them to travel outside the country. To qualify as a conditional permanent resident, the individuals must have continuously lived in the United States for 3 years, entered the country at a younger age than 18, and have either graduated high school or be enrolled in secondary schools. Dreamers and DACA recipients have the opportunity to remove the conditional basis of the status and become lawful permanent residents, also known as LPRs, by meeting certain criteria. They can achieve this by obtaining a college or graduate degree, serving at least 3 years in the U.S. military, or being employed and working for at least 4 years. In terms of fees, applicants may be required to pay up to $495 to pursue legal status under the provision. Additionally, the bill extends in-state tuition access and higher education to Dreamers and DACA recipients. Moving on to temporary protected status holders. This is also known as TPS. The bill includes a version of the American Promise Act. This provision allows certain TPS and deferred enforcement departure holders to adjust to lawful permanent resident status. Under the American Promise Act, TPS holders would be eligible for LPR status if they had been continuously present in the United States for 3 years and were eligible for TPS status as of March 8th, 2021. The provision also includes other requirements, including a background check. It's important to note that while this provision generally helps most TPS recipients from El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua, it does not include TPS holders from Venezuela, Afghanistan, Haiti, or the Ukraine. Additionally, applicants for TPS-based LPR status may be required to pay a fee up to $1,140, not one of the cheapest fees in the drawer. Now, let's explore the Dignity Program, which aims to provide a path to legal status for undocumented immigrants in the United States who meet certain requirements. The Dignity Program establishes a 7-year deferred action program that grants employment and travel authorization to undocumented residents who have been continuously in the United States for at least 5 years before the bill's enactment. To participate in the Dignity Program, individuals must pass a criminal background check, pay back any taxes owed, and meet other requirements. Participants are also required to pay restitution and contribute to the American Worker Fund. During the program, participants must remain gainfully employed or in school for at least 4 years, and that's with limited exceptions available. They are also required to pay taxes. They're also required to enroll in health coverage and are barred from using federal means tested benefits or entitlement programs. Successful completion of the Dignity Program offers 2 avenues for continued legal presence. Participants can obtain a 5-year lawful status with employment authorization and the ability to re-enter the United States, also known as advanced parole, which can also be renewed every 5 years. Alternatively, they can pursue a 5-year conditional redemption status with employment and travel authorization, which may lead to an opportunity to adjust to lawful permanent resident status, or LPR. To qualify for continued legal presence, individuals must learn English, pass U.S. civics exams, and contribute to their community, and potentially complete local volunteer work or contribute to the American Worker Fund. It's important to note that the implementation of a mandatory e-verify system and the certification of a fully secure border must be completed before individuals can obtain permanent legal status. Lastly, the bill establishes the American Worker Fund, which receives contributions from the Dignity and Redemption programs. The fund aims to provide grants to the states and organizations to support U.S. citizens who are seeking employment or transitioning to different careers. This is kind of exactly how the legislation supports the U.S. citizen workforce. These grants can cover apprenticeships, work-based earn and learn programs, and educational opportunities for high-demand careers. The goal is for America to be able to upskill or retrain at least one American worker for every participant in the Dignity program. It's a fair trade, 1-to-1. That concludes our deep dive into Division B of the Border Security for America Act, which is part of the Dignity Act, that is the all-encompassing legislation that was introduced previously. Focusing on the American dream and promise, that's where all this language was born. If you found this information informative, make sure that you like this video, subscribe, and then also hit the bell for notifications when those updates come out. My name is Colin Baring, and thank you for watching.